In this video, a brother explains how he has experienced stealth racism in Japan. And he has been there for like a year. Of course, he travels the world according to what he explains here. But like these guys are motionless, and sometimes they use these sentences to have a backward meaning. Like, when are you leaving? To mean, why are you here? Really, like, what are you doing here? And he explains experiences that he's had in stores and in the club and etc., and how he has seen some appropriate our culture. Like, they want to be acting like black people, being on the stages, rapping and whatnot. And then when he's found like he's the only person in there, he'd be like, so you're real, like you're a real thing. Like, can you do this? Can you do what we are doing? So they don't outrightly say something or do something directly. It's the way they act. Like, he's trying to say they get under your skin. Let me roll this clip and then I'm gonna be back.
A lot of y'all have experienced racism, but most of y'all haven't experienced level 9 advanced.
Okay, go check out that other video if you haven't already, but I totally agree. Racism comes in a lot of different faults. Level 9 racism is something I've seen pretty often traveling around the world. Saw it a lot in Paris and just in Europe in general. But in Asia, and today marking, a year since I've been to Japan when I first arrived, they have a polite racism, It's like a different energy to it. It's a different way to, to annoy you, to really come at your under your skin. It's a psychological racism because nobody is treating you like they really want to treat you. Or that's what I thought. Because when I interact with people, it always seemed like they never said what was on their mind. They always had this mask on. And it's a mask of like non-emotion. It's like, all right, we're going to interact you in a polite way, but I don't really mess with you like that. But I know that you're a foreigner and you're here on maybe tourist reasons or whatever. So they'll help you. But some people, if they really don't like you, they will pretend like, they can't speak any English. And sometimes they can. But since I spoke some Japanese, I'd ask in Japanese and they'd be like, oh, really? You speak Japanese? Why do you speak Japanese? Why? And they would have to help you and they'd be obligated to help you. So they would help you, not really wanting to help you. And then if they didn't really know the answer, they would try to dump you off at someone else. And that person would have to help you. And that person could actually generally want to help you, or they could not want to help you either. So it would be like a game of passing you along to somebody until you got your answer solved, so the other person could be relieved of their duty of helping the foreigner. And this is just one example of stealthy racism, of like getting out of situations. I think another one was just generally like on the subway system, you just sit down and you just have like gaijin powers, which is like foreigner in Japanese. When you sit down next to a Japanese person, they immediately get up. They're like, nah. And this happens sometimes to white foreigners, but I think it's pretty often for black foreigners, where they just like, no, we're not messing with that. We're going to get up. And I saw this a lot in convenience stores. I would just walk in to like, just an aisle. The person would immediately dart out. I'm like, and getting some seaweed or whatever. I dip out. I look back. They immediately come back in saying like, oh, thank the Lord, he's gone. And I'm just like, all right, stealthy. It's stealthy. Another common occurrence is them asking you, when are you leaving? And this is code for, why are you here? And when are you going to leave? Because you shouldn't be here. You don't fit the mode. This is a homogenous country. You're breaking the cohesion. So I got that a lot, usually from the older generation, or they're, from the younger generation. I got people that look exactly like me. Had my dread, had my braids, had the entire aesthetic, looking like they're from the East Coast, from Chicago or something. I remember I posted on this video on my page of like this dude throwing up GD, which is like a gang sign, and I was just like, this is real weird, because I was the only black person in that club, or typically black person in that club, and everyone was just like, it's the guy, it's the representative of black people here. And they just, appropriating black culture. They got, J-rap going on. They got dreadlocks fully out. They got the entire aesthetic on. And everyone just trying to interact with me like, can you rap? Can you freestyle? Can you dance? And like when I confirm any of their bias, they're like, wow, it's just like on the TV. He's really that guy. They really do those things. We're doing it to a T. And it's pretty strange. But it comes from an ignorance, but it's also like a racism that's just like, we are people, you know. We're individuals that exist in not these predetermined 2D figures that you see on TV. Like we exist. We do things outside of what you see in social media and stuff, but they don't really see that. It was a strange occurrence. But one thing I was safe. I was chill. But yeah, racism in Japan was strange. It was a very strange place to be for 3 months, but I got through it. I'll talk about it more in the future.
Now, this is the first time I'm hearing about this stealth racism. Of course, I have heard about internalized racism, yeah, and it's like they deal with your mental. These guys deal with your mental. I previously posted a video some time ago about a guy who has been, of course, he even does like some interviews in Japan about black women. Do you like blacks or whites? You know, which kind of man do you prefer? And he talked about how Japan is like antisocial, like it's antisocial there because everybody's just trying to act humble, like they if they're seated, they're just on their plate, looking down and etc. If they greet you, it's like it's respectful. They're more like they treat you like a don't touch it kind of thing, and different ways that they're just like, oh, okay, okay. And according to him, they see that as respect. And of course, it does obviously come out in different things, like what he has explained. Or maybe they try to make you think that that is respect. Like, that's the form of them respecting you, not being noisy around you, not being questioning, or not being too nosy about your situation. If they're going to ask you something, it's going to be short and sweet. If I'm gonna use that term, guys, that's what I've come to realize here. So he's not the first one who's talking about Japan being so like psychologically they may want to, I don't know if I can say use the term taunting, but it's not like they are loud about it. Like it's just very smooth. Sometimes you would even question if what is happening is real, or what do they really mean, that kind of thing. So he's not the first time I'm hearing this from, and I don't know, would you see that as racism? Or do you think Japan is just antisocial? Are you in Japan? What have you experienced as a black person? Are you Japanese? What can you say about what this guy is saying? So I would like to know. Make sure you guys comment below. If you're not subscribed, subscribe for more videos like this one.